Hello, everyone. I just wanted to come back today. I know yesterday I posted a video uh, talking about the coronavirus and just some precautions that everyone just needs to take. Well, I'm back here again today because I went out today. I went to some of the stores. I went to several stores trying to get things. And of course, like I said yesterday, there's a lot of things that the stores are out of and they don't know when they're going to get the items back in. The stores I went to today, they wasn't as hectic as the ones I went to last week. Um, but I noticed that in each store I went into, shelves were bare. I mean, there was like in certain parts of the store, there was pretty much nothing. I went into one store, like where they have like any kind of hand sanitizer, alcohol, peroxide, bleach, any of that stuff. All that stuff was gone. I went into Walmart and the medicine aisle was almost cleared out. I mean, they've gotten like all the cold medicine, flu medicines look like anything that would, I guess, help them if they got sniffles or coughs or something. All that stuff was gone. All the airborne, all the emergency, all that stuff was gone. I ran into a gentleman and he was trying to get some emergency and he was looking. I said, "Sir, I don't think it's any here. I think it's all gone." But I did tell him, I said, "I saw some vitamin C over in the vitamin aisle." I said, "If you can get some vitamin C and some zinc, of course, that'll help your immune system." So he went and he was looking. So then I saw some of the Zyacam, and of course, it has zinc and vitamin C. So I did tell him about that, and he decided he would go ahead and get some. But I just want to say this because when I looked at the news conference with the president today, he did mention, that, leave some things for people. People are just going out and just buying things up, just, you know, bukus, more than what they need. I was in a store today and I happened to have found some peroxide. It was kind of pushed back. They didn't have any alcohol or anything, but I saw they had peroxide. So I saw, oh wow, let me get some peroxide. Of course, I was getting the peroxide, and immediately I said, well, I want to leave some for someone else. Now, I could have done the same thing. I could have scooped it all up and just brought it to my house. For what? Uh, I don't need that much peroxide. And they had like two bottles of alcohol. I took one, I left one because I know that the alcohol will go a long way if I need to use it. So, as I said yesterday, be mindful of the other people that are coming into the store after you. There may be someone who really, really need these things, not just for the coronavirus, for just as to take care of a wound or something. Make sure they're able to come behind you and get something also. Um, but we have to look out for one another. And like I said yesterday, we have to take the special precautions that we need to take. Make sure that we are covering our mouth when we cough, washing our hands thoroughly, and just looking out for each other. If you have a neighbor, they don't have any family, go by and check on that person. That's what I did today. I called some of the elderly that I know to check on them, make sure they had water and stuff like that, because I've been keeping in touch with our Costco manager here in our area to find out when they're getting their shipment of water and paper supplies and things like that, because I want to make sure I get there in time to try to get some, and I want to try to get some for the elderly, who are not able to get out like we are able to get out. So again, just be mindful and think about those things. Think about the people who are not able to get out like you are. And if you're going to the store and you know how hectic it is, when you get in the store because people are just trying to get whatever they can get an extra one for someone. Like when I was in the store, I did get two peroxides because I know someone else who was looking for peroxide. So I got one for them because I know that they needed peroxide. So I did get peroxide for that individual because I knew they were at work, and by the time they got off from work, there's no way they would have been able to get it. It would have definitely been gone. And I also talked to one of the store managers, and I was telling him, that their changes were being made basically as we were talking, and there was going to be a press conference to explain the new changes that were going to be put in place. And he was like, "Yeah, my uh, my boss told me that we may have to shut the store down." And he said, "I don't know what I'm going to do if they close the store. I got to get paid. I don't have money, I got a newborn baby." And it's things like that you know that you know we have to really just try to be there to support one another and try to see what we can do, as a as Americans, as citizens, to try and help each other out. Just try to be there for someone, and I'm going to go back and check. I don't think their store is going to close because I know in the city that we live in, I just heard them talk about the new guidelines for stores, restaurants, and everything. So far, they're not going to close stores. Now, they did tell us that they were closing down bars, taverns, and um, smaller restaurants, like drive-through restaurants. Those things are definitely, they said you are not able to go into those restaurants. So like fast food chains, places like McDonald's, Jack in the Box, places like that. We're not able to go into those restaurants, but what we can do, we can do drive-through, we can do delivery services. So I'm pretty sure DoorDash, Uber Eats are going to get a lot of business during this coronavirus pandemic. You know, I guess that's I guess if we want to try to look at a brighter side, some people are, will do better when it comes to financial means because their business will increase, and it will also probably open doors up for other people to be able to come on as drivers to help deliver the food and stuff like that. But as I said yesterday, we as Americans, we just have to, stay strong and uplift one another and pray. Just continue to pray and just trust and believe that this thing is going to they're going to get this thing under control. And like I said, also, if you feel that you are sick, please stay in. Take care of yourself at home. Call your doctor and let them know your symptoms. Every time you get sick, if you have a sniffle, you cough, or whatever, it does not mean you have the coronavirus. People are just thinking that just because someone coughs, there's weird looks like, oh, we were out the other day with our granddaughter, and my granddaughter, she's been battling allergies. And so this time of the year, she'll have a stuffy nose and she coughs. She coughs, and oh my gosh, this lady grabs her bag and she's, you know, but everybody doesn't have the coronavirus, and it's just, I understand the fear. I really do. Like I said yesterday, it is the fear of the unknown. Whenever we are faced with something that we're not familiar with, it just, sometimes people tend to panic more. They go to a panic mode because they just don't know what to expect. That's why you can't find tissue and water and stuff in the stores because they're grabbing everything up. People are just buying things up. Anything they think that's going to help them, they're buying it up, and they're buying it up in big quantities. Again, I say, just continue to support one another, pray for this thing. As I said yesterday, prayer still works. There are some people that don't believe in prayer, but I know prayer changes things. Prayer really do. And as American citizens or people all over the world, if we all come together and stand and know, and stand for the same purpose of of conquering and defeating this thing and doing our part as citizens to, don't go into events and things right now, even though you may want to. Abide by the guidelines that your city or your state has put in place. I know here where I am, we're in Texas, and they have told us no more than, well, actually less than 50 people can be in any public event at one time. No, and no gathering like at parks or anything like that. Keep a distance of about 6 feet from each other. No touching, doing hand bumps and elbow bumps, pats on the back, all those things, just to protect not only yourself, but protect that other person, because at this particular point right now, they don't know who has actually been infected, who have come in contact with someone who's been infected with the coronavirus. I did hear earlier today that in our not in our county, they found 5 more positive cases. So we know that it's probably spreading because people don't know that they're infected and they're going to places. And so it's just, they're infecting other people. So after 11:59 tonight, we go into the new guidelines for public events and things. So again, I say, you know, I know this is a tough time for a lot of people. I know it's being inside because I know a lot of people are having to literally stay inside. I know in New York, they said New Rochelle, that whole area has been more or less, they're quarantined. They can't go outside of it. So that's got to be tough, for it to have to stay inside. And I know a lot of companies are actually allowing their employees to work from home versus coming into the office. But that can be tough too, because some people like to be outside, and when they're inside too long, they begin to get depressed. So if you're one of those persons, if you actually see this video, and if you're one of those persons who if you have to stay inside, get up and do something. Don't think about that you're just having to be inside because of what's going on, but get up, do exercise in your home, do something, get yourself moving, try to uh, look at something, that will kind of take your mind off of what's really going on. Me, myself, what I like to do, I like to listen to scripture. I like to listen to music. You know, I listen to watch videos. There's a comedy video that I like to watch. It's called Thou Shalt Laugh. I'll watch that whenever I'm kind of feeling a little bit down, and I just laugh because it's funny. It's funny. It's clean and it's funny. But that's one of the things that I do. But again, like I said, please follow all the precautions that are being put in place by your city, and just, like I said, encourage someone, check on your neighbors to make sure that they have what they're needing. And if you know of elderly, please check on the elderly. Check on the elderly to make sure they have food and water. And if they are needing to go to the doctor or something, assist them with that. But I just wanted to come on and just add a little more to my take on trying to be a support person right now, because I know this is tough times. It's tough, but we will get through this. We will survive this by the grace of God. Okay? Talk to y'all later.